Okay guys, in this tutorial video, I will show you how you can export a mesh from your smartphone into your computer and use a third-party software to do the mesh right on computer instead of using our cloud service. Okay, so first of all, I assume you've already opened up the app and chose a 3D scan you want to export. For example, I chose this L 3D scan to export, and yeah, this is the point cloud file, right? You see all the little tiny points in this file, and cool. Next step you're gonna do is you're gonna select on the top right corner on this sharing button. Once you click on that, you see a whole bunch of sharing options for your phone. Because I am using a Chinese phone, this is all of the Chinese sharing options for myself. And in this case, I am going to use email to share the file. And if you're using Apple, it will be actually easier because you can just simply airdrop the file from your iPhone to Mac. Okay, so but I'm gonna send myself an email. I'm gonna send me email to myself and with a subject, hi me. Okay, and then you click on the send button on your email and it's done. Okay, so now you just go to your email or whatever platforms that you use to share the file and download the file to your computer. And then we can move on to the next step. Once you've exported the file from your phone to your computer, and then you need to download 2 free softwares on your computer. Okay, they're all free to download and they are both available on Mac and Windows. So feel free to download it. I will post up the download link down below in the video. Okay, the first software you will need to use is called MeshLab. Okay, I assume you've already downloaded and opened it up like this. Okay, simple enough. You just drag the point cloud file you exported from your phone to your computer and you just drag it to the software like so. And then you will have this nice little point cloud file imported into this MeshLab software. Okay. All right. So before you do anything else, you need to take a good look around the object and make sure you remove as many noises around the object as possible. These steps are actually automatically done in the cloud, in our cloud service, but this is one of the downsides if you chose to do this on a computer is by actually eyeballing it. For example, if you take a look from the above, you notice there are a little noises right in here. Okay, so you just zoom in and then you spot these noises and then you click on the noise removing tool here on the software and you just circle it and then you choose delete the sets. Okay, so there you go. So it's removed. Okay, so take a look around the object and make sure you can remove as many noises as possible because these noises will actually affect how well you're going to do the mesh later on. Okay, make sure it has as little noise as possible. Okay, like this. This is actually very good. Okay, next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the filter option and then in here find the point set. Under the point set, you choose point cloud simplification. Okay, once you have that open, you will have this pop-up window and then the only parameters you need to work with is the number of samples. Okay, so the rule of thumb for number of samples is to always have whatever vertices you have in your file. For example, in the bottom section of the MeshLab, it actually counts how many vertices you have in your original file. Right? For example, this L has more than 200,000 points in the original file, and then using the rule of thumb, you just make it 100,000. Okay, so basically you just simplify the points into half. Okay, this is what it means, and you click on apply. All right, it's done. Okay, so once it's done, you can just feel free close up the window, and then you will notice on the right section of the software, it's generated another file called simplified. If you hide the original file, you will notice the simplified point cloud has noticeably less points than the original file. You will notice difference, right? The simplified file has less points. This is good. This is what we need. but you need to make sure it's not too simple to work with. So you need to figure out this number that works best for your model. Okay, once you have that, you need to select on the simplified file, and then you go to filters again, and you find normals, curvatures, and orientation option. Under this, the second option is called compute normals for point sets. Click on that, and then I would just leave everything as is and click on apply. All right, so as you see, the point sets actually changed its color a bit. That's because it computed a normal, right? And you just take a good look around and make sure the color is right and even. After that, you click on filters again. Under the remeshing option, go all the way to the bottom, choose screened Poisson surface reconstruction. Okay, so this is the meshing algorithm in the MeshLab. Click on that, and once again, leave everything as is, click on apply. So now you have a nice meshed 3D models, but on the top and bottom, it actually have open ends. This is also supposed to be here, and also the bottom. So this is why we need the second software. It's called the MeshMixer. Okay, so before we go to the second software, you need to export this mesh to computer and then to import it again to the second software to clean up the balls and the edges that you don't want. Okay, so let's export this. Before that, you need to make sure you selected the actual mesh file. Make sure you chose that, and then you go to export, and then export it. I'm just gonna say O2, okay, and then I'm gonna choose OBJ. OBJ file is a file that actually good to work with, and then you click on save, and then you have this pop-up window pops up, and make sure you basically check everything and choose OK, and there you go. So now it's exported into your computer. Just feel free to close the MeshLab and use a second software. Okay, now the second software you need to use to clean up the mesh is called the MeshMixer. Once again, I will post the download link down below in the video. It's available on both Mac and Windows. Okay, so drag the file you've exported into the MeshMixer, like so. All right, so now you get this 3D file you've just exported from your MeshLab into the MeshMixer. You will notice the place probably isn't right, and to correct that, you just choose on the Edit tab, and then you choose an option called Transform. Okay, so on the Transform, you can just easily move the object around, like so. Okay, once you find a good position, click on Accept, like this. All right. So remember, the thing we need to do is we need to cut off the top and the bottom section because these sections are not supposed to be there. Okay, to do this, again, you stay on the Edit tab, and then you find the option called Plane Cut. You choose Plane Cut. So let's do the bottom first. It's very easy to use. You just drag this plane to the bottom where you think it's a good cut. For example, you can take a closer look, make sure you don't remove the necessary parts. Okay, so I think this is good. You accept it, like so. All right, so now you see you've just removed the bottom parts of the 3D model. Very easy. Okay, and then you do the same on the top. You choose plane cut again, go all the way to the top, but actually you want to flip the orientation of this plane, because actually if you do this, we'll just cut off everything and leave this volcano shape on the bottom. You actually want to flip it. So click on this arrow button, click on that, you just flip the orientation. Okay, so this is way better. Choose whatever part you want to keep and whatever part you don't want. Okay, and for this case, this plane is a little inclined, so you can just incline the plane like so. Right, it's actually very straightforward. You just choose whatever you want to do with it. Okay, like so. Okay, okay, so maybe you can rotate a little more to make it even. This is a good cut. Okay, so choose accept to accept the cut, and then there you go. You basically cut out top and the bottom part of your 3D model. And now this is good. And then we can just 3D print it. We can export it into the STL file. Okay, in the top, export, and then into a STL file. Let's call it OL3. Okay, and you click on save, and boom, it's done. Okay, so now you just have a nice solid STL file sit in your computer ready for 3D print. That's it for today's video. This is basically a second option for you to work on your 3D model out of the Phiz 3D scanner. I hope you guys liked today's tutorial video, and I will see you next time.